What's happening, YouTube? Today's video's audio might not be the best because I left the memory card for my microphone in my cabin and I didn't feel like walking all the way back to get it. It's also not going to be about street photography. Normally I do a lot of videos on street photography, but I'm working at a summer camp just now, and instead what I wanted to do was talk about two of my favourite pictures, one of which I made at camp this year and one of which I made in Florida a few months ago. And oh my god, it's starting to rain really heavily. I'm going to take shelter for a minute. So the two images that I wanted to talk about, one of which I took at camp this year on the 4th of July. And it took me 3 summers to get this right because I only get that small window of time on the 4th of July to get these fireworks pictures. And the first year I sat up on the soccer field at the top of camp, which you can't see from here, but you can see this is like the beginning of the soccer field over here, and the whole camp sat up there, and I was trying to get a picture of fireworks that just looked good because I was a pretty inexperienced photographer at that time and I just wanted to get one decent fireworks picture. I wasn't thinking too much about the rest of the scene. The second year, the whole camp sat on this basketball court right behind the camera, and all the kids lined up all over this basketball court, and I was sitting right back here by this post shooting up here to where the fireworks were being lit off. And that year I sat behind all the kids. I had this idea of getting their heads in the picture as the fireworks lit them up, and it didn't really happen the way I wanted it to, and I got some good pictures, but it wasn't like the one that I was really after. And then this year everybody sat somewhere different. There's a middle basketball court. So they did basically the same thing as the first year. I sat right about here and I was shooting over this way, and all the campers came, lined up around here, and they were much more spread out because this is a larger area. And then after a few minutes I realised that the kids were more concentrated over here, so all I did was move the camera to round about here, and there was a van here, fireworks were going off there, and I had my camera on a remote release, and I just kept pressing the release button until I got it timed well. The fireworks were going off, there was a red light that came off of the fireworks, lit up all the kids just underneath it. That's how I got that picture. And it took me 3 summers to get that right, and 3 summers of experience photographing camp before I was able to actually pull it off properly. The point is, you might feel like you're never going to get to that stage, or you're never going to be able to make the images that you envision, and sometimes the chances pass and you have to wait a long time until you get that chance again. But just keeping coming back and trying it again, and you get a little bit more experience each time you do it, there's a good chance that eventually you're going to be able to make it. The second image I want to talk about took me about 3 hours to make, but in hindsight the amount of time spent shooting it probably works out to about the same amount of time shooting the fireworks photo that took me 3 years to make. Alright, so this other picture I made in Florida when I was on vacation with my wife. And we're walking through this state forest, and it was full of like palm trees and little saw palmettos and things. And I had the thought that I wanted to make a portrait of Melissa with the leaves kind of in front of her face like that. There wasn't really any fallen leaves on the ground, and the ones that were on the ground were kind of dead and ugly looking. So for hours we're walking around and I'm trying out random leaves. I'm getting her to crouch down, but that always looked weird because you could tell that she wasn't relaxed. And this happened the whole time we were on the trail, and I started to get frustrated. I didn't think I was going to be able to make it, and I started to feel like kind of a photographer because I didn't know how to make this picture happen. And then literally in the car park on the way out, we stopped at the bathrooms, and there was this shady area over at the side, and there was these long palm leaves hanging down. It worked out perfect. They were at just the right height that we needed, and there was several different ones, so I had some layers in there. And using the 55 to 200 lens on my Fuji X-T2, I zoomed it all the way in and got like a half portrait of Melissa's face. I pulled the leaves down a little, just like waiting for the right sort of gap through the leaves, and the perfect photo, the exact one that I wanted, took almost no work in that moment. It was just the work of trying and failing at a bunch of other stuff before getting it right on that one. So the moral of the story, I guess, is just keep taking pictures. If you have a picture in mind, keep practicing it, keep figuring it out, keep trying it. Even if it takes you years to figure it out properly, if you don't give up, eventually the images that you have in your portfolio will start to look how you wanted them to look when you first started photography, or something like that. Just keep taking the pictures, just keep trying, don't give up. Alright, I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers!